Good morning to the new old child, GNU. If the formation of the GNU emanated from the previous clause 88 of the interim constitution, it had already defeated its purpose of inclusivity. It is then the government had included all other small political parties in its GNU. What failed the current government to include all political parties in the current GNU? It's failed before, it's died. It is already dead even now. It is sad though, because people have voted against the ANC, against their will today. People who call themselves leaders are in one bed with the ANC who failed the people of South Africa. Why, Imal? After having joined hands with the ANC and after benefiting from it personally, OFW declared criticized GNU. History is repeating itself even today. I'm sure Priestley aseme baguqu wethu nenising umzabalazo uphenduka isipuni sokuphaka ubuqophololo. Black child, you are on your own.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Honourable MEC, you'd like to respond?
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Let me respond to the question by the Honourable Member, the MEC of Finance in waiting, I believe. So let me give her an education lesson in 101 mathematics.
Honourable members, please can you settle? Thank you.
101 mathematics. 45% is not a majority. Therefore, you sit on the left of the House. Therefore, you will remain on the left of the House. The voters realized that MK has no policy, has no principles. You are led by the architect of our misery, Jacob Zuma. And that is why you do not have a majority. And if you do not understand,
Honourable members, Honourable Francois Rogers.
MEC of Finance, God help us when you
Honourable members, can you even hear me? Honourable members. Honourable members, can we please proceed? Can I please have Honourable C.T. Kanye of the MK, who's going to be our final statement member this morning. Thank you.
Sibonge sihlalo. Ngibingelele wonke umuntu la. Okokuqala nje ngizokusho. Azingathi njalo izingane mayikhuluma la sebese sizwa kuthiwa khona abantu abayisabisayo ukuthi bazoyithulisa akekho umuntu osatshwayo sizosebenza. We are here today with the tight budget that were approved by GNU. These budgets will delay and even deprive our people on service delivery. When we as MK rejected this budget, we were labeled as selfish, abantu abanomona, abantu abangacabangeli isizwe. Namhlanje onke ama-department a-overspendile. Akusebenzeki kungenxa yenu yokuzicabangela. Sengivala nje ngithanda ukwamukela uMakhuze Moyizela ubaba uWillis Mchunu ngokuba iqhawe ngokusukuma. Ngokuthi alimele iqiniso.
Honourable member, thank you. Your time is up. Thank you so much. Honourable MEC, please respond. Sorry, Honourable MEC. Honourable members, please can we show some decorum in the House and act accordingly? Thank you so much. Honourable MEC.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I recall that at the beginning of the seventh term, we were accused of a copy and paste budget. In fact, the Honourable Willies Mchunu was Premier of this particular government, and the problem started under Premier Willies Mchunu. Now, Now we have the MK howling.
Honourable members, please can we not drown the speaker who's trying to respond to a statement that you made. Honourable members, please. Thank you, Honourable MEC.
You know, Deputy Speaker, they say empty vessels make the most noise. So here's the reality. If MK was so good and so clear...
Sorry, Honourable MEC, I heard something on the left hand of me, which I don't want to repeat. Can the Honourable Member please withdraw? It's unparliamentary to say Futsek. Honourable members, please can we not use parliamentary language, unparliamentary language. Futsek is not one of them. Can we please respect each other? Honourable members, I'm trying to speak. Honourable Seme, I'm trying to speak. We may heckle each other, but can we please respect each other when the MEC is trying to respond to a statement you made? I do repeat that. Thank you. Honourable MEC.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. So let me end off by saying, had MK been proactive and a government in waiting, when we retabled the budget, why did you not table an alternative budget if you were unhappy with it? You didn't because you don't have the capacity, and therefore you need to suck it up and realize what is happening. This government of provincial unity is a government that is active. Diabulela, somlom.
For 4 minutes from the ANC, Honourable SMM
Honourable Speaker, the leader of government business in KwaZulu-Natal, members of the legislature, today our contribution and debate will not only be addressing members in the House, but citizens of KwaZulu-Natal who are in the gallery and some watching from home. The democratic state of the country was hardly earned. The democracy of the country was hardly earned by blood and sweat. It has always been the vision of the African National Congress to create a non-racial, non-sexist and a prosperous South Africa. From the beginning of times, from where the struggle started, a struggle which today we all know that had a lot of wolves in sheepskin. Allow me to take you back to a time where the ANC had to choose between its armed struggle or peace. The ANC had always chosen peace, and when the need arose for the ANC to take up arms in order to achieve peace, it did just that. Since the dawn of democracy, the lives of ordinary South Africans have improved. Those who are hell-bent at telling untruths deny this fact that they drive on roads that aren't the same as 1994. Some have even moved from applying Vaseline to apply Dawn on their dry, woody bodies because economic conditions have been made better than what it was in 1994. The government of provincial unity has proven to the people of KwaZulu-Natal that while we differ on ideas, we have an agreement in putting the people of KwaZulu-Natal first, fighting poverty, fighting against unemployment, and ensuring equality amongst the people. Some were entrusted with the entire 10 years leading the country in very key and influential positions of this land. They are here today expecting us to have done miracles in 100 days. Honourable Speaker, we come from highly contested election. We have noted with utmost disgust, Honourable Speaker, the disrespect towards the South African national anthem by the political Tom and Jerry, the MKP and the EFF. We would like to urge the Honourable Speaker that as custodians of the SA Constitution, something be done to instill discipline to these so-called leaders. These parties have shown zero devotion or loyalty to their country. Honourable Speaker, this country comes from a very dark place where we're divided on racial and tribal lines. What the tribal conflicts led to many families losing their loved ones. Kids were left with no parents, some households left with no shelter. The challenge to democracy in South Africa is not the prevalence of ethnic diversity, but the use of identity politics to promote tribal narrow interest. It is tribalism. Tribalism leaders are very quick to dress in the latest fashion and co-opt emerging trends to preserve their identities. They buy influence and create convenient alliances, shopping for international powers. Their main mission is self-preservation, with the side effect subverting democratic evolution. For the tribal politics is a zero-sum game, so they are prone to using hate speech and inciting violence. We urge the people of KwaZulu-Natal to reject these kind of people who are using ethnicity and who are using tribalism to mobilize the people. Honorable Speaker, we would also want to say that we have seen.
Sorry, Honorable Mkhize. Yes, Honorable Twala. What do you rise on?
Speaker.
Honorable Twala.
I just want to check if the member.
Can you please state the rule you're rising on, Honorable Member? What rule is that, Honorable Member? Honorable Twala, please can you sit down? You have the wrong rule. Thank you. Honorable Twala, it is the wrong rule. We are not ordering any member to leave the House. Please, may you please be seated. Honorable Twala, 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 please can you be seated? Honorable Twala, please can you be seated? You have not been. Honorable Twala, please be seated. Honorable Twala. Honorable Twala, can you be seated? Honorable Twala, please be seated. Woo. Honorable Member, please can you continue?
Mic is not on. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. We must, however, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, thank the movement of R. Tambo, the African National Congress, for staying true to its character and providing leadership in trying times. President Begi once said, gloom and despondency has never defeated adversity. Trying times need courage and resilience. Our strength as the people is not tested during the best of times. The African National Congress made sure that there is a formation of government and the ANC leads.
Honorable members, the next speaker for 8 minutes from the DA, Honorable L.M. Mayor.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, members of the House. Whilst it's not my role to explain how to be good opposition to the anti-constitutional parties sitting opposite us, I would like to point out to them it is never really a good idea to give the government opportunity to show all our successes. But I, for one, welcome this opportunity. And the GPU is a brave new era for the province of KZN, and for us in the four parties that stood together to protect the constitution of the Republic here in KZN from those counter-revolutionary forces that wants to undo the very foundation of our great republic and that it's built on. Imagine if the anti-constitutional forces opposite me had their way. People like me would end up in jail purely for who I am and who I love. So I'm proud that the Democratic Alliance could stand together with the IFP, the ANC and the NFP to make sure we have a constitutional government in KZN. The DA, no matter which ongoing false narrative the opposition benches will throw at us today, has a proud history in this country. In the terrible days of apartheid, the PFP-DP was a voice in parliament for those who opposed the evil policies of the National Party government. And I shall remind the members of the MK that in those dark
Honourable
days,
Mayor,
the Republic...
Please, a second. Yes, Honourable Member, what would you rise, Honourable Member?
I'm rising on 57 1P.
Yes, Honourable Member. You would like to ask Honourable Member a question?
Yes.
Honourable Mayor, would you like to take a question?
They have my email address. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Member. You may continue.
Thank you. And I should remind the members of the MK that in those dark days, the Republic of South Africa had a sovereign parliamentary system, and that made it easy for the NP government to do the evil they did. Strange how much like the NP the MK wants to be. The DP played a vital role in writing of the Constitution and has been a defender of the Constitution ever since. In opposition, the DA strived every day to promote and live our values of freedom, fairness, opportunity, and diversity. And in government, nationally and in the GPU, we continue to do so. Now, people opposite can shout on whether this is a coalition or GPU. They can fail to understand how 50+1 works as a basic concept. But the fact is that the majority of the people in KZN voted for pro-constitutional parties. Imagine if we had a government that thinks we should not be a constitutional democracy. If we had a government that wants to throw out the Bill of Rights that protects us all. A government whose leader stands accused of hundreds of charges of corruption, whose Secretary General, well, he's the SG for this week, stands accused of looting VBS Bank, stealing from the Gogos, from the vulnerable, leaders who think they are above the law. No wonder they want to make the law subservient to themselves. But thank democracy that we got a government that respects the rule of law. The four parties forming the GPU has ideological differences and policy differences. But like the people of our province, the parties realize that more binds us together than keeps us apart. I've spent many years in opposition benches, both local and provincial, raising these differences. But throughout those days, I've always respected the fact that the ANC government in its core valued our constitution. Our national motto says, diverse people must unite. And that is because our diversity as a nation, as a province, is our greatest strength. Or it could be if we stop fearing each other, stop distrusting each other, start getting to know each other, and realize, as I said earlier, there are more that binds us together than keeps us apart. There's a new spirit in KZN. People have new hope because they look at their government and they see this diversity in action. And action is what the people of KZN wants. And action we are taking. This is not a talking government, this is a doing government. Let me raise some of the successes. The MEC of Finance walked in finding the vault of the province empty. But under the leadership of MEC Rogers, his fast-sinking ship has been stabilized. He did not fear taking fast or difficult decisions to stop the collapse of the provincial finances and start laying the foundation and rebuilding the fiscal state of our province. And the cabinet of the GPU continued to stand behind him, and it's for this reason that the cabinet adopted the far-reaching cost-cutting measures. The medication is bitter, but the GPU is firm in our mission to make KZN financially stable, as we want to be a province that delivers to our people, where every cent we spend is spent on the people of KZN, and for that we need to fix our finances. We did not talk about cost cutting, we took action and are doing it. And we are taking action in public works and infrastructure. We don't talk about women in construction, we work. We now meet our targets and are setting up a Women in Construction Council that will ensure that we assist women in this industry. In this Disability Month, we don't talk about inclusion. We have met with the sector on their request that we have started training our management on disability inclusion and on a process of rolling out our app for people with disabilities that will give them opportunities in our department. In DPW&I, we don't talk about the scourge of construction mafia, we act. Since we started standing up to these petty criminals, now the whole country is talking about it and taking action. Communities are uniting with us in this fight. The private sector is following our lead, and SAPS and NPA is taking action. And we thank the Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure who held the conference this week. We are turning the tide as the GPU and the GNU, as we have shown the political will to do so. And let me add, Honourable Speaker, that if we find that any politicians are behind these mafias, as the rumours go, I will make sure that the full might of the law comes down on them. In the GPU-led DW&I, we have since June cut our debt, improved the payments from client departments, unlocked most of the long-stalled infrastructure projects, implemented the findings of long-outstanding forensic reports, taken action against officials suspected of corruption, made the department open to engage with the broader society, made the department a lot more transparent by ensuring that all tender and vacancy interviews are audiovisually recorded. We don't talk transparency, we shine the light on our actions. And Honourable Speaker, while I'm on public works, I would like to suggest to you, Honourable Deputy Speaker, that on that side of the House there, my department installs a revolving door, since the member in that party changes so much that we can never keep up. We establish a trailblazing rapid response team that reports every 7 days to the accounting officer on matters relating to wasteful expenditure, fraud, irregular expenditure, and stalled construction projects. We don't talk about cleaning up, we clean up. We have started taking action against contractors that take our money but don't deliver to our people, and are implementing blacklisting of errant contractors. We don't talk about service delivery, we deliver. We are far from along in our audit of state-owned properties and identifying unused and underutilized properties. And on Monday, we will launch the fantastic new Esplanade Government Building project as the flagship of making better use of the properties this government owns to serve the people of KZN. We don't talk, we do. In the GPU, we have a stable government, not one where members change daily. In the GPU, we have a caring government. In the GPU, we have a government that defends the Constitution. In the GPU, we have a doing government, and all thanks to the people of KZN for giving the constitutional parties, including the DA, 50+1. Now, if the honourable members opposite me want a chance, we'll see how they'll do in 2029, when the people of this province will speak. I hope they will listen. Now, if you'll excuse me, Honourable Deputy Speaker, I've got work to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Honourable Members, for 4 minutes from the EFF, Honourable Twala.
Indeed, Honourable Mayor and Honourable Rogers, you have work to do in the Western Cape of capping the tender fraud of 1.2 billion, which you as DA you are engaged in the Western Cape, of Blue Network Consortium that has to provide IT-related services for schools in the Western Cape. Tell Mayor to shine the light and cap corruption in Western Cape. Honourable Speaker, we stand here today on behalf of EFF not to give an assessment of the so-called government of national unity or government of provincial unity, but to remind the people of KwaZulu-Natal that we are being governed by gimmicks, public relations, and also a lot of marketing exercises. The GNU leaders are so consumed by petty squabbles, playing the blame game on each other's past failures. It's a political quagmire and confusion in character. If it's not the DA exposing corruption by the previous administration and blaming the ANC for its past failures, it is the ANC blaming the IFP for implementing decisions which the GPU has not agreed on, particularly decisions pertaining the governance of municipalities and traditional leaders, izinduna zashe. One wonders whether this government is serving the needs of its people or it's serving its own selfish political interests. First and for all, there is no such a thing called GPU or GNU, because what we have is a coalition of moonshot pact that was conceptualized by the Oppenheimers. We must not lie, mislead, or confuse the people of KwaZulu-Natal, but to tell them the truth. They are under the government of neoliberal forces because the former liberation movement sold out to the Moonshot Pact, a pact hell-bent on engaging on class segregation, a pact of neoliberal policies, a pact of privatization of electricity, water, and sanitation, rail and ports, including here in KwaZulu-Natal. But let us deal with the truth and the reality. We live fiction. Please protect me from this Western Cape. Please.
You can continue, Honourable Member.
Please.
You are protected.
An apologist. Please.
Sorry, Honourable Twala.
The truth
Honourable Twala.
and the reality we are facing is Katamteham. We said 1 minute 7. 1 minute.
Honourable Twala, can you take
seconds.
a seat, please? Honourable Twala. Oh, please, can you? Yes, Honourable Member, what role do you rise?
Honourable Deputy Speaker, I rise on Rule 571D.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Honourable Twala, would you like to take a question? Honourable Members, please. Yes, Honourable Twala.
Hey, my man. Time is not on our side. But bring that question. I want to listen what you have to say. Bring that question. I want to listen what you have to say.
Okay. Honourable member will take a question.
Yes. Yes, Honourable Deputy Speaker, I want to ask Honourable Twala to repeat what he said about the MK in the funeral regarding their relationship and President Zuma.
Thank you.
Honourable members, Honourable Twala. Honourable Twala,
Thank you.
your time continues.
It was the ANC president, not the MK president at the time. For 19 years in power. It was the ANC president. It's the ANC that has to answer to the failures of the past. The flood victims of Verulam, Zuma and Umlazi, and many other areas who lost their homes due to floods are patriotic with me.
Honourable Twala, honourable members is from both sides.
But they took 20 seconds of my time.
Honourable Twala, your time is up.